It says this nation, from history, the nation that went through so many pogrom and Holocaust was a Jewish nation. How come they are still around? Doesn't make sense. Look how many nations disappeared. Yevanim, the Greek, the Roman, right? One war, finished. And here the Jewish people, we are so many nisyonot, and we are still around. So what did it prove? What did it prove?
Belief, they have belief.
Yeah, but more than this. What did it prove? You're right. But let's go a little deeper than what he's saying. That shows that we believe in something true. That shows that the real Hashem is ours, because we have something to believe in. That shows that all what they believe is nonsense. They have nothing to hold on to. Obviously, I'm just making
I thought that's what I just said. But okay.
You did. I'm just going also they believe.
No, but they're around. They're going to be around
Exactly.
even though they believe in
But you know what I'm telling you? That we believe. That's what there's something to believe to. You could believe in everything, but that's something we believe to. Something is emet. They realize that everything they also believe, but at one point they realize that they believe in sheker. We realize, of course we believe, but we realize, we know that it's emet. And therefore the emet, you can't take it away. Also going believe.
They know that they believe in something, but then they're just not sure if it's right or not.
No, they do some for them. Going some Christian, not today, but in history, they give up their life for Yeshua.
Sure.
So they believe. You're right. At one point, you realize it's nonsense.
It's crazy.
For us, it's emet. So although we went all this nisyonot, we have emunah that Hashem is emet. And emet, you can't shake emet. You can't shake emet. Sheker, right? You could come and shake it and finish. Emet, you cannot shake it. Why? Because it's true. It's emet.
They don't go Avodah Zarah.
Of course, go to India. You know how many people do Avodah Zarah in India? I mean, China, everywhere. Who?
The Christians today.
That's Avodah Zarah also. Of course, Avodah Zarah. They believe in Yeshua. They Avodah Zarah. They put God on the side. Hashem, you know.
It's like abstract to them.
It's what?
Abstract.
Still Avodah Zarah.
It's not like
What is Avodah
statue.
Zarah? What Avodah Zarah mean? Amen. Avodah Zarah mean you're putting your belief
on something else.
Something other than Hashem. As soon as you do that, finished.
So they are Avodah Zarah.
Of course they are.
100%.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Some people do Avodah Zarah with money. Money is Avodah Zarah. I believe in money, finished. Hashem on the side. Avodah Zarah is as soon you're taking away your belief from Hashem and you're putting in something else, finished Avodah Zarah. One of the rabbis said, what is today Avodah Zarah? Today Avodah Zarah is politics. Why politics? If this president will be elected, it's good. If the other president will be elected, it's not good. What does it mean?
Nah, but come on.
One minute. Yeah. You don't believe Hashem? Hashem controls the world. What do you mean? Hashem controls the world. If Hashem became this president, Hashem wants so. So suddenly you put your belief in a man. Hashem, he has the plan. Hashem controls the world. If you have a real emunah, everything is Hashem. As soon as you're taking your belief from Hashem, you're putting in anything else, finished. It's not, again, Shalom. It's not like Yeshua.
No, but at the same time, it's hard to judge like that.
But it's not a strong emunah.
Hashem controls all.
Exactly. Hashem.
You control everything, but at that point you could just sit home and then just watch TV all day. You got to also pretend at some point.
No. You have to defend yourself. Of course, you have to take precaution. But once something happened, don't say, "Oh, that's it. Hashem can't help us anymore." Chas v'shalom.
No.
Some people do. Look, if as a president, we are gone. Chas v'shalom. If he happened to be, did what Hashem wants. Right?
People make that mistake.
It's a big mistake.
Right.
If you have emunah, whatever, even if you're in more than this, even if you're in the Holocaust, in the Shoah, and you have nothing, on that the Rabbi said, on that I say shechianu. When I say Jews, they are suffering. They have nothing to hold on to, nothing, and they're still coming to do a mitzvah. On this side, I say shechianu v'kemanu v'geranu. By the way, I don't know if you saw in the Holocaust, right? After the Shoah, you have this skinny man, old man, that made it 5 years in Auschwitz.
Yeah, I got
right?
here.
1 minute, listen to this. On the other hand, you have this Russian guy, huge, strong. After 2 weeks, he was gone. After 2 weeks, finished. What do you mean? He has muscles, he's 40 years old. The other one is a grandpa, 70, with no muscle, nothing, and he made it. What's the answer? The answer is the Jew has something to hold on to. I'm never alone. I'm never alone. A guy, once he's stuck, there's no one with me. Lo aleinu, lo alechem.
That's one serious one.
Lo aleinu, lo aleinu. But you should know that all the Jews, Hashem inakeb damam, all the Jews that went through the Holocaust, they were kedoshim million.
I'll give you an answer.
What do you mean? They were kedoshim. It's very important. You should read books about people that went in the Holocaust. You will never believe. You never believe how much strength, how much emunah. If you want to learn emunah, you could learn from them. You could learn how people that were careful to do mitzvot, even though they put themselves in danger to put tefillin, to put talit, to blow the shofar. You should read these books because it's not those people were angels. They were angels. They were angels. By the way, you know, those people that in Shamayim, they have a special place for them. They died at Kiddush Hashem, special neshamot. We have no idea what they were doing in Shamayim. Right? That's why you have to understand, when we speak about the Holocaust people, they are Kiddushei Elyon, holy people, and it's very important that you should read story about them. You could get so much emunah, so much our people were close to Hashem from those people. We can't, it's angel. Simple, those people, zchutam yagen aleinu. They were chosen by Hashem, they were chosen people. Not everyone was picked to die al Kiddush Hashem. Rabbi Akiva was picked, right? So imagine all those people, they're in a special room with Rabbi Akiva, that they die al Kiddush Hashem. By the way, you know, to die al Kiddush Hashem, not everyone is zocheh. Rabbi Akiva all his life was praying to Hashem, give me the privilege to die al Kiddush Hashem. So the 6 million Jews that die al Kiddush Hashem, there's a remaining zechut. Not everyone. Some people that die.
Well, most of them must have not had, because God obviously, I mean, from the religious point of view, chose them because of the intermarriage and all that. They must have been on the way to hell.
Still, so what? Why did that Kiddush Hashem? You could have crossed the street and be killed by a car. No, Hashem said you will die al Kiddush Hashem because you're a Jew. Obviously, they have a special zechut. I'll give you a story, an amazing story. Where the guy, a rabbi, used to come. Not today, 8 years ago. He used to come to America to collect money. He used to come to collect money for his yeshiva. So he went to a certain gevir, a wealthy man, and he saw he had a young boy, 15 years old. He told him, listen, you have a young boy. I see he's very smart, very bright. He loves to learn Torah. Why don't you send him to Eretz Israel? So just open up a new yeshiva. It's called Hebron Yeshiva. Hebron Yeshiva in Europe. They opened a branch in Hebron. Send him there, I will help him to get into yeshiva. It's an amazing opportunity for him. This wealthy man listened to the advice, and he sent his son to this yeshiva. Unfortunately, Arabs came one day and they killed a lot of people in the yeshiva. One of the boys that was killed was this son, this American boy. Since then, I'm sure you could understand that Rabbi never went back to this wealthy man. He was so embarrassed that, so to speak, he caused this wealthy man's son to die. He never went back to him to collect money. Look where he's a Jew. Look how special we are Bnei Israel. He was afraid to go back to him. Good. One day, he went back to Manhattan to collect by other people, and he meet this rabbi, this wealthy man, in the street. So the wealthy man look at the rabbi and tell him, how come you don't go to my office anymore? We don't see you anymore. How come you don't come? The rabbi was shaking, with tears in his eyes, you know what to say. He said, what happened? He said, listen, I feel bad to come to you. I felt bad. I know that because of me, your son went to yeshiva. I felt bad that, so to speak, I caused his son to die. Look what the Jew with emunah said. Look, that's how we should be. He looked at him and said, what are you talking about? I have to thank you. You have to thank me. He said, yes, I have to thank you. He said, why? He said, we have emunah that everything is Hashem, right? My son was supposed to come to earth to live for 20 years. If he wouldn't go to Eretz Israel, he will die in America. How? Killed by a guy, or he will cross the street and be run over by a car. Instead of, he has the zechut to go to Eretz Israel, to learn 2 years and to be killed in a Bet HaMidrash with the Gemara, al Kiddush Hashem. You don't know how much I thank you for that. Look how would you think.
How did you put it?
How would you think? He said, I have to thank you for that. Because of you, my son died at Kiddush Hashem. So it's a zechut. But what is my point? My point is, it's not given for anyone, for everybody, to die at Kiddush Hashem. To die at Kiddush Hashem, you must have a special zechut. It's not given for everyone. However, every one of us has an amazing opportunity. You know what? You have the opportunity to live al Kiddush Hashem. You can die al Kiddush Hashem, but you could live al Kiddush Hashem. What do you mean to live al Kiddush Hashem? To be a Jew. You walk outside with your kippah, it's Kiddush Hashem. I walk outside with my kippah, every second I'm in the street with my kippah, it's Kiddush Hashem. Why? I'm testifying to the whole entire world I am a Jew. Why? Because there's a God on top of me. You walk in the street with your kippah on your head, right? That's Kiddush Hashem. You keep Shabbat. You have a business, right? Business. And you put a sign on the door, closed on Saturday. That's Kiddush Hashem. Why? You're testifying to the whole entire world. Hashem created the world for 6 days, and on the 7th on Shabbat, not on Friday like the Muslim, not on Sunday like the Christian, on Shabbat. On Saturday, Hashem decided to rest, so I'm resting too. So when you do that, it's Kiddush Hashem. Every second, every breath in your life, you could do Kiddush Hashem. You come to Shul, it's Kiddush Hashem, right? You're showing everyone, I believe in God. Every time you perform a mitzvah, it's Kiddush Hashem. By the way, I'll tell you an amazing story. I was saying over this speech once, here in Dil, Kiddush Hashem is when you wear a kippah. You wear a kippah, it's Kiddush Hashem. Good? By the way, I think I told you once. When I drive my car, and you see a woman who wants to cross the street, so you don't let go. First of all, you put your kippah in the front. Make sure everyone sees it, right? Then you stop and let her go. Why? Kiddush Hashem. But sometimes I rush. I don't have time to stop. So I put my kippah in the front like this. I'm just joking. So what I'm saying is, every second in your life, you could do Kiddush Hashem. So I was saying this speech over somewhere, and one of my friends decided, good, so he worked in the city. Maybe you know his name, so I'm not going to mention it. So he worked in the city every day. He went there, and he told me he parked his car somewhere, right? It's a place where you park your car, and you pay for the day, right? No, for the day. So he goes there. Okay, how much is for the day? $10. Good. So he gave him a bill of 20, and the guy that was a Mexican, he gave him change. He walks outside and you see he gave him back 35. Again, he was supposed to pay $10. He gave him 20, and the guy that was supposed to give him $10, he gave him 35.
Right.
So what should I do? So he
You don't have to give it back.
You don't have.
Nice.
Right. So he told me, listen, I just listened to the rabbi's speech. Let's do it. He told me he take his kippah from his pocket. He put his kippah on his head, right? Make sure it's in the front, everyone sees it. And he go over to the guy and tell him, you made a mistake. I would like to give you back money. You look at him like, oh, what happened? He said, listen, you made a mistake. Give me extra money. I want to give it back to you. It was an amazing Kiddush Hashem. He told me that 2 days after, he was trying for months to get his son to a certain school. And he was fighting, trying to bribe. Impossible. 2 days after that, he got a phone call from the principal. Your son is accepted to school. 2 days after that. You see, when you do Kiddush Hashem, you're showing that Kadosh Baruch Hu, you're on his side, you're on my side, I will help open all the door for you. Every Jew is coming to do Kiddush Hashem. Doesn't make a difference. Men, women, old, young, everyone. I do Kiddush Hashem. You're in the store. You see an old woman, right? She's about to walk outside. Put your kippah fast. Go open the door. You did Kiddush Hashem. Like Kiddush Hashem. You walk in the street with your wife, and everyone see how much you respect your wife, how much you do everything. Kiddush Hashem. You walk in the street with your kids. A lot of time, I go with my kids to Walmart. And people see how the kids behave, how they dress nicely, how they don't steal, right? Kiddush Hashem. By the way, my wife was the other day, it's a famous story, she was in Walmart. And there was Abido was there, Abid with his kid. And the kid wanted to take a chocolate. She was a Goya, she's telling him, that's not kosher. It's not kosher. The Goya is telling your son, that's not kosher. So the Jew asked him, you're not Jew, what does it mean? Why are you telling your son it's not kosher? He said, listen, I'm coming to this store from long time, and I see every time a Jewish boy pick up something, his mother tells him it's not kosher, he put it back. He put it back. So I told my children, whenever they pick chocolate, it's not kosher, look, learn from the Jews to put it back. It's an amazing story, right? Right, it's a real story, it's a real thing. The Abida was telling his kid, it's not kosher, go put it back.
I told them that it's not kosher. You know what they tell me? Oh, don't worry, the rabbi will bless it. I tell them that to some boy, he says, that's not kosher, I'm not eating. He goes, no, don't worry, the rabbi will bless it.
The rabbi.
My son did something better. When he got up and he put on the oil himself.
Good. So this is what it is. What do you see from here? The Goyim, they see even a Jew is able to control himself. What do you mean? It's a chocolate. It's a little boy, right? No, Hashem said it's not kosher. I'm not eating it. So it's the Kiddush Hashem.
Wow.
So you're showing self-control.
You know the joke, Rabbi?
Go ahead.
The joke is, the guy rules the congregation, a religious guy, but he never ate non-kosher before. So he went out to a far place, And he goes into this restaurant, non-kosher Chinese restaurant, and he orders the food, and then he starts to eat it. And the rabbi from his shul just walking, happened to be in this far-off place, and he sees him eating it. So he comes and says, Rabbi, he sees the rabbi and says, I saw you, I came into this place. He said, did you see me order the food? He says, yes. Did you see me eat the food? Yes. He says, perfect. He said, tonight I know it's supervised by a rabbi.
Very good. As a mashgiach. So the point of Hanukkah, I think we have to learn from Hanukkah.
That's crazy.
We have to learn from Hanukkah, right? The message that everyone should take with Hanukkah is, you are never alone. Never alone. There is always a Kadosh Baruch Hu with us.
Is that coming up soon, Hanukkah?
It's next week.
Oh, yeah?
That's what I was speaking about. That's why I was speaking about Pesach. That's what I was speaking about. It's
I
next week.
figured it was 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
I also. You know, a lot of time I don't know. It's before you know. It's
I thought it was right,
next
right?
week.
Right.
Next week, Hashem is Hanukkah. And that you have to take with you from this Hanukkah. The message you have to take with you is you are never alone. Never alone. By the way, if you realize, every year in Hanukkah we read Parashat Miketz. Why Miketz? Miketz is the story of Yosef HaTzadik.
Oh, that's my favorite one. Actually.
Exactly. I want to ask you an amazing question, right? Yosef HaTzadik is in jail, right?
Yeah.
He's in jail. They said in a pit with Hashem Yishmor. I don't know how many years he was there. Hashem Yishmor. Now listen to this. They take him out from the pit, right? They shave him. They clean him. Right now he's on top of the world, meeting the king, and he speaks with him like nothing happened. Imagine you're in the jail for 20 years. The next day, without any preparation, they take you out, they put you in the White House, you become vice president. Most people will snap. Most people will snap. From so down to go so high. And with a small amount of time, it's impossible to stay normal. So how come Yosef HaTzadik didn't snap? I want to tell you where I saw this question.
He was...
how much was this?
Because he spoke with the king every day.
No, he was there. He was in the jail.
The real king I'm talking about.
Right.
Master.
So 7 years ago, my wife was giving birth. She was giving birth. She was in one of my hospital. So she told me, go give me a drink. Good. So I went to get the drink. And I saw a book over there. So I opened the book. And I saw this chidush over there. In the hospital. So over there he asked this question. How come Yosef HaTzadik doesn't snap? Good question. Not only this, it says that Yosef HaTzadik was always besimcha. Tapuz means, the Targum said Tapuz, always happy. How could you be happy?
In jail.
You are in jail. And not only this, more than this. If you look at Yosef HaTzadik's life, he was always trying to do good. In this week parasha, he's coming to what it's called, to his father Yaakov, and telling, look, my brother, they do averot, right? In his mind, he wasn't trying chas v'shalom to smash them. He wanted them to do teshuvah, to help them to do teshuvah. By the way, he didn't go right away to his father. First of all, he went discreetly to his brother. Tell me, listen, you do averot, it's not good. This geinam, do teshuvah. Only when he realized they're not listening to him because he's too young, only then he went to his father to rebuke them. But chas v'shalom, he didn't have in mind to smash them. All his point was to help them to do teshuvah. Right? So again, Yosef HaTzadik is trying to do the good, something good. He has good intention. What happened? He's sold as a slave. Now he go there, he's honest. He has a test with a woman, with Potiphar's wife. He overcomes the test, right? What is the reward? You go to jail. Hashem Yishmor. I'm doing only good and every time I get a snack. Most people, that's religion, goodbye. No, he's going so many tests in his life and still, tapuz, always besimcha, everything is fine. Yosef HaTzadik, what's going on? And the answer is like this. Why this Potiphar loved Yosef HaTzadik? Why? Rashi explained.
He was very handsome.
No, she saw that through him.
No, not the wife. The Potiphar, he himself, he picked him, he gave him everything. Why?
Because everything he touched flourished.
Right, but more than this, he said he saw something special by him. What? He saw that Hashem sagur bepiv. He said whenever he was doing something, he said, Be'ezrat Hashem. Yosef, come here. Yes. Can you go mow the grass? Be'ezrat Hashem, I'll go. He was mowing the grass, and meanwhile he's mowing the grass. Hashem, help me to do a good work to make my master happy. Yosef, come here, get me a coffee. He went, preparing the coffee. He's praying to Hashem. Help me to make a good coffee to prepare. Again, the whole day he was mentioning Ezrat Hashem, Ezrat Hashem, Ezrat Hashem. So what do we see from here? With this, we have the answer to our question. Yosef HaTzadik was a different world.
Right.
He was connected to Hashem. I am with Hashem. Once you are with Hashem, that will make a difference. I am in a camp. I am in the White House. I'm in the Holocaust. I live with Hashem. I don't feel my body. Look, these people in the Holocaust. They were angels. Why? I live with Hashem. Whatever happens to me in my life, it's Hashem. So therefore, today I'm in jail. Tomorrow with the king. I have to snap because of this. No, I'm always with Hashem. One day business go well. One day business doesn't go well so much. One day I have a good wife. One day it doesn't work out. Shalom bayit. Doesn't make a difference. Hashem is with me. All this is nisyonot. They shouldn't break me. Why?
Don't snap.
Don't snap. Why? Because I'm גם כי אלך בגץ על מוות לא יראה כי אתה עמדי. Even when I go into the valley of darkness, I wouldn't be depressed or broken. Why? Because Hashem is always with me. Right? Imagine you're a little boy. And you're holding your father's hand and you're walking in the street. Make a difference? Dark, not dark. It's cold, what? My father is holding my hand. A person that lives like this, he has emunah. Like Yosef HaTzadik, the whole day he was mentioning the name of Hashem. He was so close to Hashem. That's why it always be simcha. And therefore, whatever I am in my life, doesn't make a difference. Because I know I'm only for 78 years after I'm with Hashem. So if Hashem wants me now to go through this test, Hashem wants it. And Hashem knows what's good for me. Right? Sometimes you go through difficulty in business, right? Chad v'shalom. Hashem wants me now to go through it. What? I don't know. This is what Hashem wants. I am with Hashem. That's why, look, religious people, you don't find so many that get depressed and snap. Right? Non-religious, very fast. Why? Because there's no one to hold their hand. They feel alone. When you feel alone, they are gone. And this is what we see from this parasha. Yosef HaTzadik didn't snap because that doesn't make a difference. I'm always with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's another message we have to learn from this parasha. Live like Yosef HaTzadik. So how do you reach such a point? The whole day talk to Hashem. Talk to Hashem. You want something? Ask Hashem. Doesn't work out? Okay, but ask. Hashem, help me to find a good shidduch. Hashem, help me. Are you going on a business deal? Help the business deal to work. Right? If it works, say thank you. If it doesn't work, say Hashem, please help me next time.
I got a question about Yosef.
Go ahead.
This is the thing.
ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו.
That's one of my favorite perukim in the whole
Chumash.
It stresses how much credit he gets for passing that test with Potiphar.
Right.
I know he passed 1,000,000 tests, and I've seen it all. It's all amazing. That is not one of them.
It's what, Potiphar?
Yeah.
Of course it's a
How
test.
is that a test?
Why is that a test?
Because if he goes with her,
Yes.
he breaks his covenant with Hashem.
So what? It's still a test.
What?
It's still a test.
Not just that.
Why not?
He breaks his covenant with his master.
Good.
That's 2.
It's still not a test?
No, hold on. He breaks his covenant with Hashem.
Good.
He breaks his covenant with his earthly master.
Good.
That's 2 huge ones.
Good.
And he breaks his goodly name.
So why is it
How is that such a thing? And if he gets caught, he's going to get tortured and killed. That's the 3rd one.
I'll answer you.
These 3 things
Good.
don't add up. If I'm facing those 3 things, I'm not touching anybody's wife. Trust me.
Can't complain.
I don't care who it is. I don't care
Can I
if
answer
it's
you?
Christy Brinkley on the other side.
One minute. Did you just listen to the news a couple months ago?
Which one?
Which news? What is the name? The guy wanted to run for mayor of New York. What is his name? What is his name? Winner. Right? Look, he had everything. He had the nisayon and he failed. So don't tell me it's an easy thing. Not true. Look, great people fail in this. It's a terrible, by the way, it's a big mistake. Arayot is the biggest nisayon. Woman is a very difficult. Someone will tell you to go that woman is not nisayon. It's the hardest nisayon around.
No, of course it's a hard nisayon, but not in his
Good.
case.
I'll answer you. Second, answer number 2. Answer number 2, you don't have the Yetzer Hara Yosef HaTzadik had. Yosef HaTzadik, if the Yetzer Hara came to him with this woman, you have no idea how much he worked on him. You don't know how much nisayot he put in him. She didn't come in one day.
I understand.
1 minute. She came for every day. Every day she begged him. A woman, wait, she wasn't ugly, obviously.
Right.
She was very pretty. She come to you every day, knock on your door, drove you nuts. Most people will snap. It's a big nisayon. Don't think it's not.
Either way, his life was threatened because she got in trouble.
Exactly.
So,
Anyway,
But all I'm saying is that the Torah specifically mentions her and the fact that he didn't, deny her.
It's a big
I think everything else was so much greater. I don't think that was a big deal.
there's no bigger nisayon than
but Hashem
that.
rewarded him with tremendous.
Yeah, you don't know what nisayon is. Again, I give you a beracha. You should never put in this test.
No, I don't want to be in that test.
Chaz v'shalom.
Who wants to be in that test?
You don't want to be.
No, of course
Very good. So even though I want to tell you something. Sometimes you see tzaddikim, they do averot, right? And then, 1 minute. You say, what's the big deal? I wouldn't do this avera. He's doing this avera. The answer is simple. Because this person is more holy than you, is more tzaddik than you, therefore the Yetzer Hara put more strength against him than against you. Sometimes you see tzaddikim, they do averot, say, that's a rabbi, yes, because that's a rabbi, therefore he has a stronger Yetzer Hara than you, and that's why he does avera that you will never do. You know why? Because the Yetzer Hara tried to fight with him more than you.
Okay, but the bottom line is this.
1 minute. Here, Yosef at tzaddik, right? The Yetzer Hara just come and send him an email, hello, I'm outside, come. That's what happened. The Yetzer Hara was fighting with his brain, she drove him nuts. Yeah, you have to go through Midrashim, what she did to him, right? It's impossible.
We should go into that Midrash. I would love to see this Midrash.
He never touched a woman in his life.
You don't know what she did to him to drive him nuts.
Oh, he had never been with a woman before her, ever?
Of course, he was never with who?
I don't know. I have no
So
idea.
now you know, he was never married. He was tzaddik. Tzaddik is so dolam.
I give him much more credit.
By the way,
I give him much more credit.
More than this. Imagine you are 19, 20, right? 20. Put yourself, you are 20, you have a pretty boy, you are smart, genius, and you have the prettiest woman on earth come to you. And you said, no, thank you, goodbye. You will do it? Of course not.
Listen,
it's
in his case,
yes.
I'm going to tell you what his case is like in this case. Do you know what his case was like? I hate to say this name. That's the equivalent of, if you go back to 1940 Germany, that's the equivalent of if you were in the Holocaust, and I don't want to say his name, but the Hitler picked you to come do a dream. That's the equivalent of that's the equivalent of you going against him and going with his wife. Would you be that stupid?
Go with whose wife?
Adolf, would you do that if you were picked by him at that time? If everybody gets killed, would you pick to go with his wife?
You don't, if I will have the Yetzer Hara of tzaddik had, maybe. You don't know the Yetzer Hara had.
But think about that. That's ridiculous.
We can't think about it because we are not on the level of Yosef tzaddik.
I don't need to be on that level.
Of course you do. We are not on his level. Let me ask you a question, right? A couple of weeks ago we spoke about something, it's ridiculous, right? I'm not going to mention the name. You see some people that do this avera. I don't mention what we spoke about, but you see some people.
Mention it, because I don't know what you're talking about.
Some people that do averot that you will never do. And they are religious, they are everything. And you ask me, how could it be? The answer is, for you, you can understand it because you don't have his Yetzer Hara. If you will have his Yetzer Hara, we will do 10 times more than him. We can't compare ourselves to other people.
I can. I'm going to have to say that I can.
You can't compare yourself. You can't compare yourself to Yosef HaTzadik because you don't have his Yetzer Hara. If you will have the Yetzer Hara of Yosef HaTzadik, believe me, you will snap, dancing outside. You can't compare yourself to Yetzer Hara. You don't know it's a big mistake. Big mistake. People learn Torah, they're comparing themselves to the Avot HaKadoshim. Yaakov Avinu, you did this, you went. Like I heard a speech 2 weeks ago. I was about to get up and tell the guy, be quiet, what are you saying? He got up and he was saying that Yaakov Avinu tricked Esav. He tricked Esav, what are you talking about? He stole the berachot from Esav. He never stole the berachot. Esav stole it from Yaakov Avinu, he sold it to him, and now he wanted, it's the opposite. Esav wanted to take the berachot and where it is from Yaakov. So some people, they just read the Chumash and they compare themselves to the Avot HaKadoshim. Yaakov was a person, I'm also. Those people who are malachim, we can't understand who Yosef HaTzadik. We can't understand. The Yetzer Hara you will never have in your life. Take the biggest Rasha on earth, the Yetzer Hara is a young boy compared to the Yetzer Hara of Yosef HaTzadik.
Well, at some point you have to go by the text too, though. At some point you have to go by the text.
Hold on.
You cannot compare yourself to Yosef HaTzadik. Now I just want to tell you an amazing chidush. It says in the parasha over here that let's just see over here.
I give him a lot of credit for not going with the Egyptians because he was a pretty boy. The Torah says outright he was the prettiest boy alive. You see, he was the biggest pretty boy, right? The guy's the best looking guy in the world. Any women, they want to jump fences just to see him.
Indeed, they said when he became king.
Yeah.
He was a second of the king. He was dressed nicely outside.
Right.
They took him outside. The women were jumping on him.
Right.
Jumping on him.
That's why I'm saying I give him more credit. I give him more credit for not going with those.
No, but again, no. Potiphar, if you don't do that, you are done. He knew that if he doesn't go with her, he's putting his life in danger.
Either way,
neither way. If he wasn't going with him, right, he knew he'd be in trouble, and still he didn't care. You know what an Nisayon is? The guy is alive. He's the second. He was a Potiphar, first, second, right hand, and he gave up. I don't care to be in jail. Everything you want, I'm free to. You know what an Nisayon? You can't understand. You can't understand because those people Malachim.
Well, what do you say? On what point? About which point again? You're talking about the fact that...
Again, I'm coming to you. I'm telling you. You do avera. If you do avera, right? You'll have pleasure. Not only this, you will stay alive. If you don't, I will send you to jail. I will ruin you. I will kill you. Everything done.
Right, and you're the wife of my master.
Exactly.
You're out of there. You're out of there like swimwear. I wouldn't think twice about it.
I told you already that.
Yeah.
You are an angel.
I guess I'm an angel.
I give you a beracha. You should never put to this test.
I hear you.
You are not human, Moshe. You are not. So let's go back to the small thought about the parasha. In the parasha, you don't tell you anything. Look at Chachamim. What's special about Chachamim? One time, a farmer is walking outside with his son, a little boy, and they pass by a field, and they see a field of wheat. The wheat are standing straight, very nice, good. Then he passed by another field, and he sees the wheat, right, bent, going down. Why? Because they were full. They were so much beracha, so heavy, so they go down. So the kid tells his father, Chazit, look this guy, this field is all ruined. The other guy has a nice field, standing straight, and look this one Chazit, all his field, all the wheat are going down. He told him, my son, you're making a mistake. Do the opposite. When something goes down, that show it's full, there's something there. When somebody stands straight, that show it's empty. What is the point? Here, listen to the mashal. If you see the common point between all the tzaddikim, all the chachamim, they are all humble. All humble. Why is they humble? Because they are so full with Torah, makes them humble. When you see people arrogant, you should know that empty. There is no Torah there. If you see a person arrogant, you know he's not a Talmid Chacham. He's like the wheat standing because it's empty. But when you see people humble, that show is full of Yirat Shamayim. He's full of mitzvot. He's full of Torah. Because there's so much mitzvot, he's like this wheat, and he must bend down himself. Why? Because he has akara. He knows HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's something important. We have to understand. When you see people arrogant, right? You should know that empty, nothing there. Make a lot of noise. Like you said, if you take a box, kupat zakah, right? You put in it a coin and you shake it, make a lot of noise. But if you take kupat zakah full and you shake it, there's no noise. When something is full, right? Keep it low. When someone makes a lot of noise, arrogant, that show is empty. And that's why